time is now 8 o'clock. So you know what it means.
Teacher Talk Live.
Let's make history.
Teacher Talk Live.
What up, family? What's happening? I don't know, we had a little technical difficulty, but we got the thing back working. We're here.
You're winning.
We're here.
Teacher Talk Live.
What's up? Man, I'm so glad everybody's tapping in. Yo, tell everybody to hop into the live. We got a really cool announcement tonight, and I'm looking forward to sharing space with my family, with my crew, my rules to engagement crew. Yo, it's about to be a... Ooh.
Teacher Talk Live.
What up? I see my sister Keisha in the building. Principal Ra in the building. Principal Mo in the building. Alexia in the building. I know CJ gonna be in here in a minute. It's
Teacher Talk Live.
Am I running for president? Nah, not yet. We love it on the school board, man. We're being effective. We're being effective on the school board. So you already know.
Teacher Talk Live.
So listen, man. I'm gonna be bringing in some of my fam from my Knowlej crew, my fam from the Rules to Engagement crew. This is a really cool, exciting weekend. We are announcing officially. We are letting it be known. We're letting it be known. Hold on, let me turn up the mic, Keisha. I gotta turn up the mic. There we go. We're letting it be known that we got something very, very special coming to the people, man. A dope platform for educators, by educators, man. This is about to be so exciting. Let me get the crew in here. Hold on, let me get the crew in here. It's good now, Keisha. We good now? Last time I listened to the live back, I felt like I was loud. Hey, what up, dog?
Ah.
Do you see the coordination?
You know I love a color coordination situation.
Look.
We know.
Listen, everybody needs to be aware that Mo plays no game. She definitely hit everybody up like, so yeah, what y'all wearing? I was like, yo, I don't even be thinking like that on the live. She's like, no, we're coordinating outfits. And we did.
You're winning.
And we did.
And
we did. Yes. How's everybody doing? How y'all feeling? How's your spirit?
Awesome. This, like what we're doing and what we're talking about tonight, and just being able to be a part of that. That's only like one of 7 great things that happened this week, but it's really special to me. So yes,
100.
Awesome.
Correct.
100. Mo, Lex, how y'all feeling?
Feeling good, feeling great. See, what happened was my shirt. I wore it on Friday to school, and it's laundry day, so it's in the wash. But I'm still repping Knowlej, so that's all good.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
That's all that matters. That's
Yes.
all that matters.
We do James as much as you do, like in the classroom. I feel like it's okay. It's like you
It's
don't want to wear
okay.
that shirt again. Probably.
It's all good.
You be funky in the class, yo, with all that movement?
Oh my God.
With all that
The
smell
people want
from
to
the back.
know, man. The people want to know.
Kindergarten ain't no. It's
Not
the
with the
smell from the
backpacks.
backpacks and the jackets. I might
Bad.
be a little woozy every day.
No, high school fragrance is like terrible.
Yeah,
Like horrible. Yes.
it's weed and BO, and so that is a magical.
Correct.
Thanks for saying the quiet part out loud,
You know,
Reynolds.
I'm in high school. They wanted Mike that I said it. So yeah.
It's
Yes.
okay because it's like that in kindergarten too.
Oh man. Mo, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Getting ready for the week, but feeling great.
Yes. So I gotta tell the truth to the people. A similar question was asked when we had a meeting earlier, and I definitely gave like a stink booty answer and response. Like we at that point. This is real talk, and somebody out there is gonna feel me right now. We're at that point where like teacher burnout gets real. and we are not always our best selves. And I think sometimes we have teacher tantrums. You know what I'm saying? And I think I had a teacher tantrum earlier.
You did,
And I just
but
had
not
to, I just
at
had to
the
name it.
church, not at the
Yeah, that's
Sunday
right.
service.
Not after the service. That was the concern. It was like the Lord didn't touch your spirit or heart at all, honey.
I'm like,
Not at all. Not at all.
you see,
I'm dying.
What'd you say, CJ?
I said, I don't want to question your pastor, but like, it's like, you know,
It was a good service, but I had a good little church cry and everything today. Like, it was one of them Sundays. I don't know. Maybe my soul was tired. I don't know.
it happens, man. Stuff is
Yeah.
real though, right? Like it's you just get to a point where, like, even my kids. I was talking about something with this tonight. Like, if you don't fill yourself back up, even my kids will be like, "Why are you in a bad mood?" I'm like, I don't even know. Like,
Right.
That's even the most annoying thing. Is like I can't pinpoint it. I'm just aggravated. And so,
Yeah.
I hear you.
I needed a nap, I guess. I don't know.
That'll do it.
So, all right, listen. I wanted to bring everybody together. Well, we decided we were going to bring everybody together to talk about something really exciting that we've been putting together. It's been in the making for like, man, a little while now. And so we I just say the thing, right? So like, we've come together to put on like one of the very first live audience teacher talk shows that has ever existed. And this is like a show that consists of a panel, the four of us, all four of us, who are actual teachers in classrooms, and administrators.
I teach a little bit too sometimes. I'm out of lessons. I'll be in the classroom.
Okay. Okay.
Period.
You in the club. You in the club. Right? You in the club. And that's real, right? Because there'd be a lot of admin that are so far removed from the classroom, they be forgetting like they used to be in the classroom. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But
A whole another one.
right. But so we have, administrator, a school board member, teachers, right? And veteran educators at that, from around the country who are all coming together to put this show on, and we're going to be filming it in LA. We're going to be doing some of our first episodes this month. What are the dates?
March 22nd and 23rd.
March 22nd, March 23rd. That's a Saturday and a Sunday in LA. And you could potentially get free tickets to attend the show with us. And we're going to have like some special surprise celebrity guests who are going to be there. You don't even know. You don't even know who it might be. You know what I'm saying? And so you can come hang out with us in LA. And so, yeah, that's the thing.
Yes.
So,
Has anyone ever done a TV show though? Like, has there ever been an educator TV show that wasn't fictional?
I don't know of one. And I don't know of one with like a live audience that's there as well. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
podcast,
No.
but not
Podcast.
show.
Yeah, podcast,
podcast.
yes.
But
All day.
But what we're doing is, this seems like, and
Completely
look, this is
new.
where teachers should be. I'm so thrilled to like be able to create a space for not just ourselves, but like to bring people into to build that community around. Because that's the platform you need, I think, sometimes to really help the world know what this is about and what we need to be doing for kids.
And
So,
hearing from voices,
Right.
like
Yes.
from us, from the people in the
from
trenches.
people with the boots on the ground. So, Reynolds, you're gonna laugh at this. I just Googled it. I was like, teacher TV show with a live audience. Guess what Google brought up?
What?
Welcome back, Carter.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that was a real show.
That was a real TV.
Welcome back. What?
Welcome back, Carter.
I don't even know
I
that.
don't know what that is.
Yeah, I knew Reynolds would.
I know.
That's like beyond us. I don't know if that's a generational gap or like what that was, but
Shivy, you and I are the same age. You didn't watch Nick at Night?
yeah, yes, but I don't remember that show.
He was reading books and stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He was
saying?
not reading
You know what I'm
books.
saying?
He was not reading no books.
Yo! Dang!
Ooh, shots
Man.
fired.
I know. Pew pew.
No,
Oh,
man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up though. I am curious. I'm gonna throw it out to you guys. Like, and I'm gonna put it actually to the audience as well. What are some topics that you guys feel like should be discussed on this platform? And I want to know from the audience what things y'all think, and I'm gonna throw it around the horn. I guess I'll throw it to Lex first. Like, what are some topics, some things that you feel like we should bring up, and we'll let everybody answer.
I think most importantly, like for educators and students alike, like what is going to keep the morale going? Like, because it's tough in these streets and education is changing. These kids are changing. What we got to do is changing. So how we can help build that stamina, that morale in our spaces, get kids engaged and teachers and that joy that we need to push forward in this space. So that's what I would say.
I like that.
And I'm passing it to Mo. I don't know where you are on my screen.
She on this side for me.
Here or here.
I guess from my perspective, it's kind of like, one, listening to teachers, always, want to make sure that that's happening because your voices are so important. But then also, like, figuring out how we can bridge the gap between principals, administrators, and teachers, because there is somewhat a divide in like a us versus them type of situation, and it doesn't have to be. So, like, figuring out how we can bridge that gap to make things better for not just teachers, but also kids.
I like that. CJ, what you got?
So I think it's really helping. It's expecting teachers to live into their giftedness, right? Like that. It's given autonomy, giving them the freedom, giving them the ability to saying yes to teachers more than no, so that they can be the fullest expression of what they were created to be. But then because what I think that does is it ultimately just helps students, right? So what we do when we pour into teachers is it makes a better experience for them. But I think it's also holding teachers accountable, because some teachers they're not just struggling because they're struggling. They're struggling because they just have textbooks and worksheets. And it's like, nope, we need to hold those folks accountable too. And I think unpacking some of that of why these are issues in the classroom, and I think could help.
Yeah. I want to kick in some of the commentary that's here. Schooler, my sis Keisha from out of Detroit, gave a very Detroit response and said, we need to have the real ass conversations and what's going on out there with our students and at home. And I mean, with the conversations about parents.
Because parenting ain't parenting like it used to.
Right? And listen, here's the cool part about all of this, right? Because our panel, all of us are educators, right? But we're also all parents, right? So like when we speak on the parent perspective, we not just speaking like, some fresh out of college teacher with no kids. Yeah, like we get to just send them home. No, they at home too.
And it's ghetto.
So we knowing, you know what I'm saying? We are in the know. We are in the know. So I do love that, man. Actually, you know what? If we could, Mo, do you mind like sharing like how did you, like, in each of us, like how did you get into education? What was like your inspo to become an educator in the first place? I think that's like good bio, like background knowledge.
So I always tell the same story. I never wanted to be a principal. I thought I was going to be in the classroom forever. And then people kept
pour you in that big salary.
Okay. Listen.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Look.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm a 12-month employee. And I work anywhere from 50, 60 hours a week.
Don't try to play.
Thank you.
Right. Sis working for that bag.
I've earned every penny, every cent. No, but I didn't ever set out to be a principal. I always wanted to be a teacher, even from the time I was probably like 10 years old. So the education is just something that has always been ingrained in me. I mean, I used to teach Sunday school as a child. So like, that's just something that It was just like, oh, I'm going to college. I'm going to college to be a teacher. And my grandmother was so excited. She even passed out my teacher certificate. She made copies of it with my social security number on it and passed it out to the neighborhood. So she was very excited about me being a teacher, because I'm a second generation college student. So there aren't many people in my family who've actually gone to college. And I'm the only person in my family that has a secondary degree, like, post-secondary degree, master's degree. So it's a really big deal.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Look at you.
Come on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are a winner. You are a winner. Lex, what was your how'd you get into education? What's your why?
Well, what is, I hate that question.
Why you gotta get all
You're
deep
making-
on me? I just wanted to laugh and stuff.
You're making more.
So
interesting.
I
Go.
did not want to be a teacher. I did not want to be a lot of things. Growing up, I wanted to be a chef, a chef, but I was always
Okay.
in dance. So when I graduated high school, I went straight to teaching at a dance studio. And in college, I changed my mind. I wanted to be a child psychologist. So my degree is in psych. And then I started substitute teaching. And then I kind of fell in love with it.
Mm.
So yeah, I went alternate route and got my teaching and certification. And yeah, so I teach all day. And I did not want to be in the ghetto world of kindergarten, but it landed me there, and I love it there, but it is a lot. So yeah, teaching all day and then teaching dance at night and all the things. So that's my story.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. CJ?
So, gosh, my answer's so weird. This is a weird question to answer people. Like, I hated high school. I didn't like school since 6th grade because I was undiagnosed dyslexic, and so I went to school every day because my friends were there. I didn't go to school because I enjoyed it. So then I got out of high school. I thought I was going to be a drummer. Did that for a while. Thought I was going to be a priest. So I spent time in a monastery in Kentucky. And then I thought I was going to travel the world to developing countries and visit kids in the hospital and be a clown. And so, see, this is a theme of like, how much more disappointed can I make my parents, right? So my parents got more and more concerned with every one of these choices. And then someone said, why don't you be a teacher? And I thought, it's like being on stage. I get to care for people and I get to be a jackass and get paid for it. It's kind of, all right. So I became a teacher, and lo and behold, I loved it because I got to be the teacher, not the teacher I had. I got to be the teacher I always wanted. And that was my goal going in class.
Mm.
What about you, Shiv?
Yeah, what about you?
So yeah, like I think I start off like Alexia, right? It was like I never really wanted to be a teacher, right? I remember growing up, my dad was a teacher. And I remember one year asking my dad how much he made per year. Mind you, this is like in the 90s. And he said a particular amount. And I was like, oh, like, yo, there's no way. How do we survive? Like, this is crazy, right? And I graduate high school thinking I was going to be a rapper. I get a chance to do Freestyle Friday my freshman year, second semester, when I was at Rutgers University. I get retired on Freestyle Friday. I'm in the office with like Leor Cohen at Def Jam, and we talking about a record deal, and I'm thinking this is like about to be life. I drop out of school, move to Atlanta, all the et ceteras, and I end up serving tables. I end up going through a whole bunch of different crazy events. Going back to school, went to school for public policy because I wanted to be a lobbyist. And I just knew, like, maybe running for office would be in the cards for me one day. I get a job working in the mental health world, where I was helping people who had experience with mental illness on how to tell their stories. And I would travel around to all the different mental health hospitals throughout the state of Georgia. And then Crystal and I experienced a loss of our daughter prematurely due to premature birth. And it shifted everything. And so I had to figure out a way to like stop traveling so much. And I end up deciding to get a temporary license or a provisional license to be a teacher. And I start doing special education, and then I was locked.
Yep.
And it was a wrap. And then next thing I know, being a teacher became my personality or something. So here we are.
Shit, why'd you pick high school, though, specifically?
Or
Or
man,
did you
you
not
know
pick
what?
it? Like, is that where you got put, or what was that?
It was a little bit of both, right? So like when I was looking for a teaching job, this is like 2016, 2017. And at that time, like we're still kind of in that recession era, and there wasn't a lot of jobs out there for real. And I was kind of going for the job that I could get, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of why I went like special education first. But I kind of felt like high school, like I could be real and I could be authentic with the kids. I had substituted elementary. I substituted and coached in middle school for a while. I kind of wanted a little bit more intellectual environment that I could have, you know, deeper conversations. So that's why I think high school's for me, and why particularly I like seniors. Like I'm like a senior teacher, you know, that's me. You don't like the seniors? Why?
Now, I was an assistant principal at a 6 through 12 school, and I was like, I don't like y'all.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Dang. Why you don't rock with the seniors? Yo, the seniors are so cool. Now, second semester, right?
Exactly. That's why. That's what it is.
Senioritis.
It's the senioritis that just drives you insane.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
They ain't got many F's to give at that point. Like they are beyond where they are at that moment. Yeah. Yeah. That's real. That's real. But I do love them. I think if like, I don't know, man. I think in the environment that I teach at, the kids still have a whole lot of need. Like it's not as an autopilot as in some communities where they kind of like, I know what school I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's already lined up, all the things, right? Like with mine, yo, honest to God, like they, many of them, most of them are first generation. You know what I'm saying? Like first in their family to be walking that walk. So they need a little bit more help, a little more assistance. They, you know, school is, I think, a little bit more of a hub for them. I don't know.
Well, that's their community, right? Like, it's like that's your school, your classroom becomes that space where I feel like I can be myself. I can speak my mind. And now I'm going to go somewhere where I don't know anybody. My parents can't give me a whole lot of advice on what's coming next. And what I see a lot of times, so I mostly didn't teach seniors. I taught freshmen, but the beauty of that was that I knew those kids out for the next 3 years. And so I could speak to the seniors. Never annoyed me because I didn't have to teach them, right? I only got to like, I got
relationship
to have
part
the
of
conversation. Yeah. And you can help kids walk through some of those things of like, what's this going to be like? And what are you going to do? And who are you? And especially kids that are leaving Philadelphia for the first time ever. And I've told Shivy, like I'd have kids go down to Atlanta and they're like, yo, it's different. Or some of my students would be like, this is the first time I ever went to school with someone that was white in my life.
Right.
And our school was all boys school. So they're like, it's even weird having girls around like in class. And it was so much newness that it was daunting. So I hear you.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a lot.
Yeah. And I think there's a big difference between like, at least in the high school level, there's a big difference between freshmen and seniors. Like,
Oh yeah.
1,000%.
1,000%.
especially the pandemic kids of recent years, like, because some of them missed either freshman year of high school or they missed like 8th grade of middle school. Like they were, it was a little dicey. It's been dicey. It's been dicey. Right? Have y'all noticed, like at the lower levels, Lex, like have y'all noticed a difference between like the pandemic babies who, I guess, what, like your third graders now were the ones who missed kindergarten, right? Like,
Yeah, they was on the screen. Kindergarten on the screen.
right, on the screen. That sounds crazy. They was on the screen.
That was on the screen.
So what are y'all seeing with them?
And you know what? In just thinking in context of my school, like that gap, like the third through fifth grade, they be wild. They be knuck if you buck behavior on the daily. They be doing the most every day. But then I saw something, and what's interesting, because where I am, a lot of the kids are getting displaced because the homes that they lived in, like the projects, had a lot of issues. But I was reading an article on like the effects of like the lead that's in the paint and things. And that it can actually have a really big effect on kid behavior because it's literally rewiring their brains in a bad way. So I'm starting to think about like what's going on, like how many of our schools have been tested for lead and those types of things, their homes, to see this behavior, because the behavior is different. Especially for the younger kids. Like there's things that I have never seen in my life. In this is my 9th year in kindergarten, and oh man, they
the stuff they're saying and doing is like, excuse me?
It's like, wait, what? Like you just gonna throw that couch across the? Oh, okay. You're gonna throw all my supplies in the trash can? Oh, okay. So yeah, we gotta look into that because something ain't right. Something ain't right.
We earlier asked folks like, what are some of the topics or things that they would want us to talk about? I want to like throw a couple of them up in the air and just kind of see our feels on some of them. Staying inside the gray. Oh, by the way, I'm testing this feature out, and I don't know if it works or not. So y'all try it, please. Even if you don't want the tickets, just try it and tell me if it works. Type tickets in the comment section and let me know if it sends you a DM with a link for you to sign up for it. Let's just see if it works. I need somebody to help me and let me know. Otherwise, I didn't do it right, so I'll figure it out. But one of the comments from Staying Inside the Gray says, I love to know the panel's advice or encouragement for new teachers, especially in an age of many educators unhappily leaving the field. Thoughts on like, I don't know, conversation. Should we be encouraging people to stay in an unhappy situation? Maybe we should start there.
I think it's a separate conversation.
Okay.
No, go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
No. So even if it's not an unhappy situation, if those people want to leave, I've learned that if you try to keep them, they begin to resent you and other people and all this other stuff. It's like, if you want to go, you got to let them go. Like, that's one of those things. And if they come back to you, they were meant to be. And I've had some teachers come back. But what I've learned is that yes, no, seriously, it's a real thing. But no, like I feel that like sometimes people are at a bad school or they have bad leadership, and I know Reynolds, you can speak to this too.
Yeah.
Where you have bad leadership and it makes the school terrible, and like sometimes you just need a new environment, like with different leadership and things like that, and then you'll find like that joy of teaching. Because honestly, like leadership, it sets the tone, and if it's trash, like your experience is going to be horrible. Or sometimes you can find your little small community and you guys, like maybe your grade level team or whatever, is like real tight and you're not really affected by all of the craziness that happens because of leadership. But it's really about like finding your community within your building. And if it's not working in your building, I would encourage you to find another place before just exiting altogether.
Yes.
That part.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think it's top down always for schools. Like schools rise and fall on good leadership, not good management. And so if someone's up there just trying to make sure that we're keeping the status quo, I'm not interested. And I've had the blessing of having incredible leadership. And so, which let me speak to that. Like, so I've had the best, and they support you, they get behind you, they tell you what you need to hear, whether it's good or bad. And then I've seen that go from that to like not as good leadership to horrible leadership, where you're getting in Philly. We had 98% turnover 2 years in a row.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so now I didn't even tell you all about this. So like the other day, I signed a letter of intent. I'm teaching in New Mexico next year. I'm teaching. But here's my interview. My interview goes like this. We realize that the high school's filled with cobwebs, metaphorically. we just
Yeah.
need someone you can come in and do whatever you want that's going to make this better. Do
Oh,
it.
Lord.
Like, we trust you. So, like, I know they don't think
They
who
don't
they're talking to.
know what they asked
No.
for.
That idea already, I'm so thrilled. I'm excited to be there because I know that it's like, yo, if what you're doing is going to help kids, help build success, help make this place better for people, like, then game on. That just even feels different. Where most schools, so many schools I've worked at or worked with, are like afraid. They're operating out of fear all the time and not letting teachers be professionals. They're just like want them to be. They want to micromanage them, and I'm not doing it.
Not the
There you go.
robots.
It's
Not
giving
the-
robot.
Not the robots.
But I love what Keisha said.
What Keisha say?
She ain't never scared. So sometimes you gotta
Mhm.
as teachers, sometimes we have the mindset like we want to be people pleasers and we gotta do what everybody says. Like we have to
Mhm.
break out of that mindset and just
Mhm.
continue to do what's best for ourselves and our kids. Because when we do what's best for ourselves, then it's going to be what's best for our kids.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, like get connected to people in your school, outside of your school. If it's not working out, just take the leap of faith and just find somewhere else. And if it's just not for you, then it's just not, then don't stay, because then it's not good for you, the kids. Nobody is winning in that situation. So I would just say, find your people, get connected with us here.
Hey.
And
Lex.
yeah. What you got to say,
So
CJ?
I want to, like, you're hitting on something really important there, I think, which is like sometimes you can't find those people in real, like in physical reality.
Yeah.
You have to do it virtually. And that's the beauty of, I mean, until like just recently, I mean, we never all
That's
met
right.
in real life.
Mhm.
No.
So it's finding those people virtually is everything. I think that's what Knowlej is doing though, too, is trying to create this community of teachers that are that
That are never scared.
Never scared.
Never scared.
DJ play Never Scared.
I gotta get a soundboard like Shivy. I gotta know how to do that.
Yes. It comes in handy. You know what I mean? It's the right feel for the energy sometimes. It's just appropriate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But somebody said too in the comments that the parents, like honestly creating, a community with the parents that are there that will fight for the kids and for educators. Like we need to develop that in our buildings, because when they be listening to parents over some crazy stuff, going to the board because my kid didn't get his pencil sharpened last night. Crazy things. So like if we are a collective for, the better of our education for all of us, like we can make moves, but we just all got to be fighting for the same thing.
I think you bring up a good point though, when you say running to the board, like, but what happens when the teachers are the board? That's the piece that, like, I'm really trying to encourage more educators to really get on that kind of time. Like, and sometimes folks live in areas where their school boards are getting reelected uncontested year after year after year, and their boards very likely don't even have people on them who have ever worked in a classroom a day in their life. Like, I'm really encouraging teachers to do it, man, because I see so often like the consequences of our perspective being missed at the dais. Like, y'all, they really like, and they really be doing their best. Like, I swear, like, people like mean well, but if you're not there, you don't really understand the impact of some of the things, man. And it's tough. Like, we need more teachers.
Is that why you
running
did it
for a school board.
Shit.
Yes, like, so look, so a lot of the issues and things that people left in the comments were like teacher pay. They want us to talk about teacher pay. Admin that doesn't have vision. But really teacher pay. Like, let's talk about that. At the end of the day, like, it's the boards at the local level who make the decisions on like how much central office are we going to have and versus how much teacher pay are we going to have. Right? Like, it comes down to that. Like, not for nothing. I'm on a board with 8 other individuals. There's 9 of us in total. So I can't like just say, yeah, I made this thing happen, right? So let me just put that out there. But I campaigned on Atlanta public schools starting salary being 65,000 base, and last year it was at 52,000. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I had campaigned on, we're gonna get it to 65 within the next 3 years, right? But I was able to advocate to get it moved from 52,000 to 63,000 within months. And so immediately it moved Atlanta's teachers from being hired literally into poverty, like what we consider low income, and then officially moving them in a middle class. And that's just by being able to advocate for it. And that's something that, like, I can make posts about all day long and they can go viral all day long. But it's not getting a teacher paid better. Now I can advocate for something to 8 other people and we can make it happen. Right. And so I think, like, just knowing that I can be intentional and pull levers and make things happen, like, man, that's a world of difference. Cell phone policies coming up now. Like, I'm talking about it on my platform, but I'm like trying to move policy on it as well. Like, it's just being able to, like, not just advocate, like be this online advocate, but now, like, I can actually, man, I could do something about it,
Yeah.
So,
And like the ins and outs, like people who are so far removed from what it is to be in a school working with kids really
Right.
don't know the severity of the issues that we are facing on a daily basis. So
I don't
Yes.
think most people know what power they have too, right? Like
Mm.
most parents don't realize that, like, show up. Because you're right, Lex, you said it. Like, parents are listened to. I had a teacher tell me the other day, the most terrifying thing in the world to them is to get an email from a parent. And it's like, there's something about that like, lean in. Like, if you have the power, you have the ability to change things. Don't just listen to your kids come home and complain, push back.
I like that.
yeah.
I like that. No, I agree with you 1,000%. I often I have people go, "How do you wear the shirts that you wear? How do you say the things that you say? Like, how do you do that?" I'm like, I just do it.
Because I
Like, been just doing it. Like, why don't y'all just do it? Like, a lot of y'all in districts.
Teachers be scary
Man,
sometimes.
why are they so scary, Lex?
Hella scary. Like, if y'all don't just come on,
Like,
let's go. There's more of us than they are of them.
Them.
Let's do it. Dang.
why are you scared?
X.
Man.
Mo, you're on the other side of that, Mo. What's your take? I mean, we're like, oh, like, teachers,
Because Mo's
grab your-
on the other side.
get your
That's why they scared.
They not scared of Mo in her outfit.
Oh yeah. Oh, Mo be killing them.
Her teachers are starting to come out too.
Yeah. Nah, Mo.
No, I
You
mean,
be
but as
chumping
far
your
as
teachers, Mo?
parents,
You what?
no. So, no, listen, I try to make things as simple as possible. I just expect everybody to do the best they can every day and just do what you're supposed to do so that we can do what we want to do later. That's really all I need you to do.
Okay.
I mean, that's just really it. Like, in making sure that we're doing the best that's for kids. Like, if there's something that you're doing that's harmful to children, like, we need to talk about it. But, like, if we're, like, trying to message, and I guess it's different because of the population that I have, like, me wearing shirts that look like Shivy shirts, I wear shirts like that all the time. But that's just because of the community and the population that we had, because they like that. Like, like they agree with that messaging. So, but I did work in a place where people did not agree with that messaging. And so you had to be, quote, careful, unquote. And there was a lot of crazy racial stuff that happened, like, in that district, like, very crazy. But I think that as an administrator, like, supporting that and supporting your teachers, like, this is freedom of speech. Like, you can't just, if you're upset about it, okay, don't look. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
Mind your
don't look at 'em.
business. Just
Mind your
mind your
business.
business.
No, but I think that, like, most parents don't have anything to say about, like, what teachers wear or anything at my school. Like, they're more so focused on, like, academics. Like they want to
That part.
focus on like the things that matters. But if they're focused on things that don't matter, it's just like, okay, I listen and,
Yeah.
listen and listen some more. And then, try to find some sort of common ground. But I don't jump on my teachers unless they know it's something that they shouldn't have done.
But see, like even stuff like that, like one of the first things that I did was work to loosen the teacher dress code in the district, right? So like it's stuff like that, right? Like it probably don't matter to the administrator up there. Nobody's thinking about that, but I know off the bat, you tell an educator like, yeah, you can rock jeans any day. It really doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
that
And
matters.
You don't have
That
to pay
matters.
because we poll. And
Y'all be paying to rock jeans
every Friday, bro.
You gotta pay. You gotta pay to do jeans in New
pay
Jersey
every Friday,
bro.
Yo,
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So
violation.
I'm pretty sure Shivy's dress code down in Atlanta, they had people wearing pantyhose.
Oh,
like something crazy. It was probably like you had to wear pantyhose,
too much.
stockings.
Not too much.
Well, that's how the South is. That's how the South is. You can't wear like red lipstick. Like I would be written up every day.
They used to, literally, look, when I came in, there was a rule that said women could not have their hair wrapped.
Yeah.
Now, think about that. As a black woman.
And you in between braids?
Or you trying to install them things yourself? And your arm done got tied at 2 in the morning? And you was like, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You telling me sis can't wrap that thing up and come show up to duty tomorrow? Oh, nah.
Because otherwise they're going to call out.
Right. No, I need you in the building, sis. Okay? Wrap that thing up. Okay? And get on these standards. Okay? Thank you. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But yeah, so we removed that. You know what I'm saying? And we got the Crown Act passed in our district, right? That was my very first piece of legislation. So like that's that cool stuff, man. That's why I'm telling y'all, we can complain about stupid stuff we see in the news, our pay, all of that kind of stuff, or we can step in the way. Now, let me say this. Where the district that I teach in, I don't get paid like the teachers do in the district I run. So, I'll be feeling that teacher hurt still. Like, matter of fact, as a almost 10-year teacher, I make less than a starting teacher does in Atlanta public schools.
CJ, how is it out in New Mexico?
Right.
What is the pay looking like in New Mexico?
It's not that bad, right? So I started in Camden, New Jersey. That's where I spent my first 5 years.
Not that bad. Felt like a little dagger, just a little.
Well, it ain't that bad.
I was sharing online. I said, like, my first year teaching in Camden, New Jersey, I made $31,000 a year, and then I didn't get paid from June through September. And like last week,
I don't
end of May,
either.
and that was like $31,000 a year is like to live outside Philadelphia. You can't live on that. So I had to work 4 jobs in the summer just to pay my mortgage. And then there was, so I shared that, and somebody in Oklahoma was like, "Yo, I wish I made $31,000 a year." So when but I will say, cost of living here in New Mexico is eggs are still as expensive as everything else, but it is it's so much cheaper, so you can do more with less. It's not like, I'm sure living in Atlanta, you can't live on that, right? Like you said, but so that's a little bit of a
I gotta sell this. I gotta sell these shirts. You know what I'm saying? That's how we make it happen.
I know. But exactly, like that's your side hustle is like you want to all the time. It's like, no, I need to, because otherwise,
ain't no way.
Bartend at Applebee's.
I'm telling you. And look, that's a policy I'm working on now this week. Our policy said that an APS teacher could not own a company. Imagine.
What?
Imagine you could not advertise a business. You could not get paid to tutor a kid who attends the district.
Now, that I've heard about that in California too.
We have that rule.
Yeah, we're removing that one. Okay, so
Yeah.
the new rule is going to say you can't get paid to tutor a kid who's on your roster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That makes more sense.
And I'm going to ask for disclosure once a semester, all kids who are, you know, in the school, if you could disclose that once a semester.
Shit, but these are all things that wouldn't get passed otherwise. Because I'll say, like, when we tell teachers, like, I've had teachers that I've known in my district that would go to a board meeting, voice their opinion against something, and then the next day they are in the inclusion class. All of a sudden, you're in charge of in-school suspension, somewhere that, like, you didn't want to be.
You didn't want that retaliation.
Yeah. And
Right.
and that really happens. They're like, oh, no. We just needed you to, you know, supervise lunch every period of the day. So that,
Oh
I think
no.
it's tricky too, where you can't do that. But, you know, speaking of when we're talking about like wrapping your hair, that immediately made me think of like all the kids that wouldn't come to school for 1 to 2 weeks because their mom cut their hair in the kitchen and because they couldn't afford the barber. But if you could just wear a hat or a wave cap or something, that it would have at least got you to the classroom. So when we're talking about things like chronic absenteeism, what are really practical measures that could help with things like that? And it's like, instead of it,
because
that's real, because that's a petty reason that a lot of kids don't show up. It's like the hat stuff.
my
but,
hair's
like,
not done, or I got a bang cut and I look a mess.
Yeah.
One of my kids, he still got his scully on.
Yeah.
He still got his scully on because he's afraid of what the kids are gonna say. But it's okay. You wear that scully until you're comfortable.
That's what inspired me to first start breaking the hat rule in school. And what's funny is I removed the hat rule in APS as well, because think of how many kids get detention or suspended or whatever for wearing a hat. And it's just like,
because the hat leads to insubordination, and then
it's the easy way to slap something on your wrist and set you up.
Did you know that 40% of suspension, at least in over here, 40% of suspensions are due to insubordination?
Yeah. We can't suspend for insubordination in Maryland.
You know how stupid of a suspension? Like, to me, that's like a fragile adult violation. Like, what is that?
Yeah. What constitutes in your district, though? What constitutes insubordination?
He's not listening to the
not following the directives. Like not follow. Yep. Like, so I could cut you out and not get suspended, or I could like you telling me to take off my hat, I don't take it off. Yeah, and I could be like, no, like, so saying blatantly, no, I'm not going to do it. Now, the cussing out, I don't tolerate that, so I can make it work.
Right.
But yeah, that's mostly it's just being blatantly disrespectful or just not following instructions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if a kid gets to a point that they're cussing you out, real talk, there literally is a lack of a connection. Yeah. Like I just, in my mind, could not imagine getting cussed out by a kid I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most disrespectful moments I've ever had with the kid is like a kid who I'm a stranger to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or something's just going on at home and they just had a bad day.
Yeah,
there's something
you
bad
was about
going
to cuss us out this morning. So
You're right. We shouldn't be able to read like kind of the EQ on a kid though. Like if they, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I could tell. Like I could read it on a kid's spirit. Like if something is going on, man. Like before I ever catch a stray. Like I don't know. Man.
I feel like sometimes you're the safest person to do that too.
Ooh.
Also,
yeah.
right?
Like,
kids
because honestly, when they feel safe, they will. Like my one kid.
It's a bar.
And he and I mean I'm working with mom. He done got kicked out of preschool last year. Like there's some anger issues, some deep-seated stuff. And when he feels safe, like he be turning up for little things, but it's like at the end of the day, I know those are things that like in his brain, whatever he's going through as a little kid, he can't control certain things. So he needs to learn when he's not like that, and that takes time. But we need to put in the resources. So we need to set him up with a therapist and a social worker and things like that. so that he gains the skills to be able to control that behavior, and not let his emotions control him. And a lot of the thing with our kids is their emotional intelligence and the ability to be self-aware is lacking. So how do we teach that, and how do we help parents teach that to their kids so that they're not in school all day running amok? And then we set them up for failure, because then they get suspended, then they get an ISS, then they're just programmed every year. I'm going through the same cycle. Okay, well, now you setting me up for prison because this is all I'm used to. And I like this because this is safe to me. So I might as well be in prison because y'all set me up for this.
Wow.
So how do we remove that from an early age? Because I'm saying, like, for me, I'm knowledgeable, so I know that. I'm not kicking him out of my class. I'm not writing him up to the principal. I'm putting in services for him so that he can get the help he needs.
Right.
But are a majority of people, like, are we all thinking that way? Are we doing those things? And it's hard. Do we have supports in our schools? Do we have social workers in our schools? Do we have a crisis teams in our schools? Like, how do we embed that so that we're not just, setting our kids up for prison?
Yeah. That's a bar.
That services.
Yeah.
Lex, that's it. But it is because I think what teachers don't realize, I think especially new teachers come in and think that they should be able to handle everything. They're expected to handle everything. And sometimes certain students, they have needs that you cannot meet. When I'm teaching a class of 35, I can't meet this need right now.
Yep.
And I think that needs to be identified as well. But Shiv, you and I have talked about, I think what Alexia's talking about even maybe if we were teaching that level, but like when you have high school kids, it's having those, we call them heavy, deep, and real conversations where you're going to come in talking crazy, then you're about to get crazy back on some. I'm not trying to fight fire with fire or have a power struggle. What I'm saying is, like, we need to have a real conversation about what's going on and what the ramifications are of what you're doing. So you can feel safe to talk to me, but better believe it, I feel safe enough to do the same thing back, because you need that.
I feel safe too.
Yeah. I know your mom.
I know
this is all right.
Your mom.
No, that's facts. No, like, and that's real. Like, that's, I think, one of the reasons why I love teaching at the school that I teach at. Like, like, I teach in a very real community that got real stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like being real with each other is a love language around there.
Very much.
And like, nah, for real, like, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's for me, like, yo, I have the opportunity, and I think as do all of us, right? We are steeped enough, well enough in our profession that we could be anywhere if we wanted to, right?
Right.
The shiniest, most glamorous of schools or what have you. But for me, I know that, there's certain communities that do not get access to educators of a certain caliber. They don't get access to educators of a certain tenure. They don't get access to educators who have access. And I feel a responsibility to our community to be in a place, in a space where, like, it matters a little something for me to be there. And I think it's one of the things that's kept me 10 toes down. CJ, I just yesterday signed my letter of intent to come back for next school year. So I'm back in the game as well.
They signed you back. You ain't got signed.
Yes. Clock that T.
Clock that T.
Clock that T. So yeah, I'm excited to be coming back, but also, like, you know what I'm saying? It means something, man. Because from the outside looking in, people see my school and they think, like, it's, it's like that. It ain't like that. You know what I mean? But we like that though. Like, we graduating kids at a very high level. And even though we're in a very extremely under-resourced area, our school is not on the turnaround list or the potential takeover list or even the voucher list for Georgia. So celebrate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you, CJ and Shivy, y'all are in states where every year you have to get re-signed. Mo, is your district like that?
I mean, I feel like it's a formality, to be honest with you. Like, I do one internally, but then they do like a district wide form.
Are you like
later on in the year.
Are you union out in Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so are y'all?
Mm-hmm.
No.
So we don't have
Oh.
collective bargaining. I am a part of AFT as well
Okay.
as FPSC out
Mhm.
here, but we don't have
Mm.
the
Yeah.
same bite.
So
Yeah.
how
No.
so how do y'all think that affects like a teacher in those states versus like
Mm.
me,
Look at the
where once you get
compensation.
tenure? Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
compensation. Now, what I
Listen.
do hear though is like you can't, even though we get renewed annually, you would kind of have to have a teacher on a PDP
Yeah.
and all the other things like past
To
like
get
year
rid
2,
of.
3 or whatever to get rid of
Gotcha.
them. I don't,
True.
from what I understand now, I don't know, man. Like I don't know, I don't trust it. You know, every time they send my contract, I'll be like, "Whoa, thank you!" Like I'm
Uh-huh.
grateful you want me back. Thanks.
Yeah. I was always in charter schools, Lex. So
Oh,
if charter schools can
so
fire you whenever
they
Uh-huh.
want.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially in Philly.
Oh,
Especially well in PA. Yeah.
So that's got to be
Especially
a lot of
PA.
pressure
I mean,
too.
Mhm.
Is that why teachers are more scary?
It could be, unless it's a public charter. Like my school's a public charter, and so they're
Like,
unionized.
I'm scared I'm about to be fired all the time. I'm unionized,
but I don't.
No.
but I'm
So
I'm
we
public
are.
school, so in Jersey they don't. Once you're
Lex, how
tenure,
long
you're
are your
tenure.
contracts?
Oh, once you're tenure after 4 years, you gooch. Unless you
Yeah.
you
Wow.
messing
Oh,
up.
yeah,
you
out
messing up.
there-
You
you
messing
out
up,
there
and
wilding
they
for
got the
respect.
paperwork,
Yeah, you got like a bunch of kids.
and they really got to do the paperwork, and people don't want to do the paperwork. So really, once you tenure, you tenure.
So
Yeah.
4 years get you tenured though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
crazy?
Is
It
it
used
your
to be
fourth
3.
year? The first day of your fourth year?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It used to be
Yeah.
3,
Same here.
and
Yeah,
then they
3 years
changed
in
it
a
to
day.
4.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm still waiting to get vested out here in Georgia. I got like 1 more year. 1 more year.
Oh.
Mm. That was a collective.
Yoda!
Mm.
Are you saying something else there that I'm not saying? That's the question.
Oh, okay, that
Okay.
makes sense. 1 more year.
4 I see 2 in Cali, 4 in
2.
New York.
2 years. And then they're
2
like,
2 years. You don't even know what you're doing after 2 years. I feel like you just be like figuring
No.
it out still.
That's why, yo, people have no respect for educators 3 years and under. Let me tell y'all, bro. Like veterans, you're
Listen, I
like
used to be one of them. I
I
didn't know what I
used
was
to
doing.
be. I think that's real though. You really don't though. They really throw you to the wolves. Like it's so messed up how they do new teachers, man.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
no,
It's-
They need to develop a mentor system, like a
Yeah.
strong mentor
Yes.
that
Yeah.
follows you for the first 2 to 4, that tenure, that 4 years,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
get locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not that mentors system where someone's teaching 6 classes already today.
Yeah,
and now they have to come
need to
and
be
sit in your
released.
class during
Yeah.
the one prep that they have.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
because that stuff's nonsense and it doesn't work. And you can't even be
Mhm.
authentic and real because you're afraid. I think teachers are afraid to ask for what they need
That's
or
right.
admit that they
Mhm.
don't know stuff because teaching's the only job in the world that I know of that you are expected to be great from day one. You're on the same level
Mm.
as a veteran and expected to perform as well. You can't even get a job at McDonald's and be like, bro, you want to do the grill? No, first of all, you got to start in the parking lot. But
Say,
First of all, you
like
got
the fries.
This week you're mopping floors. Next week is the fries. Okay.
Hey, bars. He got ambition, baby. Yeah. All right. So listen. I don't want to belabor us because it is a school night, right? And all of us actually are going to schools. Look at this, a real show, y'all.
Correct.
A real
Correct.
one. My last question of the night is: what impact do you guys want the Rules to Engagement show to have on the education space? Just a small question.
that's a good
That's
question.
yeah. That's you gotta take a bite out of that.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I think the same thing I want for my students. right? I want people to feel seen, heard, and cared for. And that what we're talking about is real. That you can actually watch an episode of the show or any of the content that we're putting out, any of the resources we're giving out, and you feel immediately empowered to go into school tomorrow, and you're going to be better than you were on Friday. And that is my aim and my prayer for teachers that are engaging with us in this way.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Mo,
What you got,
Lex, anybody want to jump in?
What I got?
Yeah.
Jump in. I would say, you know, I want us to build a space of community and love, because that is the foundation of everything we do, the way that we live. And when we work in community, we can, you know, really thrive together, and we're all on the same mission. So I think building a space where we can all connect and with like-minded people who are on the same, you know, space, we can lift each other up in those moments that are hard. And also being a space curated by people who are in this work is so important. Because oftentimes people are just talking at us and not talking with us. So, yeah.
Correct.
Community for the win.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Mo, impact. What do we want to get from this?
So what I hope is just because, you know, I'm always speaking from the administrator lens, is that that we're able to reach administrators in a way to help them see teachers better, to help so that in turn changes their leadership behaviors in a lot of ways, and kind of reflect and look inward to then affect people, you know, and affect change in a positive way. I think that's what I would really like to see is to hear teachers, and also hear somebody like in leadership that's going to say the quiet parts out loud. Okay, because some of the things that like you're thinking and feeling, because a lot of times, you know, leadership, we're taught to like, you know, just kind of sit, listen, not really voice our concerns, our opinions, or our gripes, or venting, or, you know, because that's not what leadership looks like. But I feel like this is a good place to create the space for that conversation to happen.
Yes.
Correct.
For me, I want, what I want from it is for us to create like an extremely legitimate platform that is a desirable place for people at like the highest levels to want to come to, because they feel like it will allow them access to real people, real educators, and a safe space for people to share like authentically how they feel about topics that are related to education. And know that all perspectives are welcome, right? Like this is not looking for like an echo chamber, that, you know, we can have tough conversations, that we can evidence to the community like how to disagree with people, but still maintain like our humanity while navigating these conversations. Like for me, I'm not looking to just have like amen sessions with it. I'm looking to like, you know, really challenge some of our own perspectives or thinking. You know, I'm looking forward to like a day where, you know, folks trying to run for president, they feel like they got to come through rules to engagement, you know, because that's how you get to talk to educators and education and this space in this world. Like that's what I see for us. You know, folks just won an election off of like going to podcasts. Like if we keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so we got to think like, yo, how do we combat and how do we resist in this time? I think it looks like platforming ourselves and legitimizing our own voices and our own spaces and our own narratives. No more conversations about teachers without being able to hear what Rules to Engagement has to say about it and knowing it'll be newsworthy.
Shiv, that echo chamber piece I think is so important, because that is such a part of culture right now, where it's like you can't even hear somebody because they tell you something about them and you're like, oh, you're over there, you're one of them, you believe in that, like,
right?
It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's
now.
it. Yeah.
And being able to have what I think of as a safe space to be able to have those conversations with people that you trust, what you're doing. And, you know, when you and I had done this in the past, where we had like a conversation around race after the George Floyd murder, and we had a bunch of educators on YouTube, I got DMs from folks and messages that were like, what this did was it gave an example of what it looks like to have a difficult conversation. I don't think people know, but the thing is, everything you want is on the other side of a difficult conversation, right? You want to have a marriage that lasts, difficult conversation. You want to raise good kids, gotta learn how to have difficult conversations. You want to raise, you know, whatever it is. You want your neighbor to stop, like, you know, smoking weed and blowing it into your kitchen, whatever. Like, right?
But it's Atlanta, dog.
It is. You got to learn how to have difficult conversations, and I think, get the honor of shouldering some of that discomfort and showing folks what that can look like, and that you can still, like, because what we're doing is for kids ultimately. So we'll do this for kids.
Yep. No, 1,000%. Yo, I want to give a big shout out to our brother, Principal Ra, who is in the building right now. Because Rules to Engagement is the brainchild of Principal Ra. We are supported by Knowlej. And this is what is creating like the opportunity for this to even happen. So without Knowlej, without, like, you know, his ed tech solution, which is really aimed at really eradicating chronic absenteeism, and addressing that issue in a real way that deals more with motivating kids as opposed to just punishing kids. Like, being able for him to build that and then say to us, like, hey, I believe in you guys' voice. I believe that you guys, you know, are the right people to curate this kind of a space, and making sure we are well resourced to do it. You know, shout out to that brother, man, because it wouldn't happen without you, man. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
tossing it up, where can people find us? What are we doing? What's
Mo, tell them what's up.
How to
What's
get
up?
seats.
Yeah, how to get seats, all the things.
How to get seats. So first, I know, Alexia, you're under the Rules to Engagement. So go to the Rules to Engagement page, follow that page, because that is where you'll be getting all the information. Our LA peeps, if you are in LA and you're going to be in LA March 22nd and 23rd, tap in. You can go to the link in bio, Rules of Engagement, or you could comment ticket in the comment section here, to get a link to get tickets to be a part of our live studio audience. And what is the release date? We didn't say what the release date is for the actual show. So if you can't come to the tapings, they will be released. But stay tuned. That's why you have to follow Rules to Engagement to get more information.
They'll be starting the release in April. We will announce what specific date we're going to start. Yes. Also, like, just in case dropping the ticket in the comments don't work, I know I have it in my bio, link in the bio as well.
My bio as well.
So all of us, I'm pretty sure.
Bios.
Yep. And shout out to Instagram for finally allowing you to put multiple links in your bio without having to have Linktree, yo. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're not a Knowlej mover, follow the page Knowlej.
Yes.
Get Knowlej to find out more about how to become a mover in this space and really get connected with the crew and so many other people and educators and thought leaders on how we can really make a change globally in education.
Yes.
And I forgot to mention.
Go ahead.
I forgot to mention that Knowlej movers get preference for seating for the show.
And other perks.
So if you like exclusivity and perks, become a mover.
No, 1,000%. And that was something that I was just going to elevate. And I can't wait to share more about that, because we're building a community around this where we're going to be able to have like our own private Zoom chats. You're going to be able to have VIP access to some of the events that we're going to be doing. We have a gala and a conference coming up in LA. We have a conference coming up in Atlanta. Like, we got some cool stuff coming up. And right. And so you guys are going to want to be in the mix of this. Like, it's time. It is finally time for educators really to just take control of our own narratives, of our own spaces. And when everybody always says it, man, somebody should do it. Somebody should do it. But now it's being done. Come run with us.
And like you said, like Ra be giving us this opportunity to create spaces and places for educators that it's like becoming a knowledge mover isn't just about like getting your sweatshirt, right? I'll tell you what,
They're
nice.
Too. It is about joining a group of individuals that are just as crazy about this work as you are. And then what happens when you bring all that dynamite together? I think that is going to be something that folks are going to, there's going to be like, they're going to wish they had jumped in immediately, because that's what we're ultimately trying to do, is help teachers.
That's what it is. Any last words of love, light, wisdom, anything y'all want to say to the people before we
shout
log
out
off?
Tracy Pinter said she's flying from Ohio.
I know that's right.
Hey!
I know that's right.
Okay.
We gotta remember, what was that name again? Let me write it down.
Tracy
So
Pinter.
Yes, please,
Tracy
y'all,
Pinter.
click the link in the bio or type tickets in the comments here. I hope it works, y'all. Please. And nobody let me know if it worked or not.
Nah.
So I don't know. It was a no.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, nobody did.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw people type tickets.
I saw
we'll see.
people type.
I
But
wonder, maybe if I can check in my DMs and see if it's sent out to
I'm
people.
gonna type in tickets.
I'm gonna type in tickets too.
Right.
See what happens.
Ticket or tickets.
It's a ticket or tickets
with an
It's-
S.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna work. We're gonna work on it.
I didn't see a DM, but
No.
we'll work on it. It's still in the bio,
We'll
so
figure
Yeah.
Or
it
hit
out.
any of us up. We're gonna get
Yeah.
back to you.
we're gonna
Yeah.
be here, y'all.
That's
Sunday
facts.
nights.
That's facts. All right, man. Any last words of love, light? Anybody want to say before we tap out?
Just continue to be led in your spirit, stay grounded in who you are, and continue to spread knowledge, get knowledge, be knowledge. We need you, we need us, and y'all, we gotta go to work tomorrow. So
That part.
got a blast.
That part. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Mo, you got anything?
I just hope everybody has a great week. Like, just I know because some people get the Sunday scaries, but you sometimes you got to go through
I
it
ain't
to get
never
to
scared.
it.
They
Yeah,
did
yeah.
our theme
See, I ain't
song.
never scared.
That's ball.
You got to go through it.
She
to
said
get
that with
to
her
it,
whole chest too.
DJ, take us out.
I think for me it's Sunday, right? So if God is for you, who could be against you? And if you've been given this work to do,
Okay.
Ooh.
Sunday
Okay,
sermon.
Pastor
Shut. Shut.
Take us to the church.
I know. Look, we about to make more jokes on Shiv. You just stop.
Shiv,
That was the sermon he needed this morning.
Yeah.
I know. I need an amen. I gotta get Christian in here to update some sounds. Yeah, 1,000%.
Before his voice changes, and he'll be like, amen.
I know, right? I've been trying to capture as many as I can while he's still cute. Word up. Yeah, man. I don't really have a whole lot of advice for teachers. I guess just one thing. You know what I'm saying? Just never be scared, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah, I know you
Take them
gotta.
bowls out.
Hey. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the teachers out there who are afraid to speak up to say what's wrong going on in their classroom, I encourage you to speak up. To the teacher who feels like you should not advocate or you should not be boisterous about the things that you want or what you know is right, I encourage you, speak up. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Understand there are more teacher positions out there available for you to take than there are teachers. Get another job. I don't know. Just get another one. I don't know. Clock that T. Yes. Nah, but yo, man, thank y'all so much for hopping on the live, man. This was fun, yo. Bringing rules to engagement to the Teacher Talk live space, man. Like this is the perfect mashup. I love living here like this. This is great. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. All right, man.
All right,
Y'all
y'all.
be great. Y'all be good. It's a school night.
Amen.
Peace.
Peace,
Bye.
everybody. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us tonight. I'm super excited. If you click the link in my bio, you can apply to win free tickets to join us for our live in-person taping of Rules to Engagement. We're going to be filming like 5 shows the weekend of March 22nd and 23rd. March 22nd and 23rd in LA. All right. So if you guys are local to the LA area, or you are willing to fly out to the LA area, hit the link in my bio. You can get some tickets and join us. We have some, y'all. When I tell you, I opened up the Instagram Rolodex and I reached out to the biggest of the biggest of the biggest people who I could potentially reach out to. And so many of them said yes. And so many of them have said yes. Yes, I want to show up for teachers. Yes, I want to have this conversation with y'all. So many of them said yes. You don't want to miss an opportunity to meet and greet and see some of the people who we have coming in. And it's going to be a small, like, the audience ain't going to be ridiculously crazy, right? So you're going to be able to just legit talk to these people. Y'all, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. Hit the link in my bio. Get registered to come out with us. Rules to Engagement, March 22nd, March 23rd, LA. Yo, let's make history. Thank you so much for being here with me. Good night.
PG Talk Live.